Enemies with armor or shields can't be knocked down or lifted into the air with biotics. Well, I'll just try harder then. Peak comedy.
Levels have spiked, Pathfinder.
Dude.
Radiation levels normal. Life support restored.
Open sesame. Got anything in here? Huh? Huh? Who are you?
I'm sorry it came to this, Pathfinder.
Came to what? What came? Oh shit, I've got. Runs a little better. Terminal. Ooh. Hey Connor, heard about the new position. Prodroma's just getting one hell of a businesswoman. They're lucky to have you. If we ever find ourselves on the next at the same time, I'm buying you a drink to celebrate. Feature. Ryder, I know you're gonna get nosy and read this. Hi.
Everyone thinks that at first. The doctors have a name for it by now. He just needs time.
Hi Vitra. Yeah, I got nosy and read it. I'm not sorry.
Pathfinder. Pathfinder. Jacob Mitney, Research and Development. My team's
Hello.
just getting set up here, but we've made a discovery you might want to check out.
All ears.
We've put together a blueprint for augmenting your armor plating. Uploading it now. If you can collect the necessary resources from around EOS, it should work.
Is this a sure thing, Mitney, or just pie in the sky?
I have no interest in wasting your time. This could form the basis for armor production across the initiative. Scrounge safely, Pathfinder.
Okay. What's going on in here?
An actual sunlight to wake up to. This will be cool. Great.
Bradley asked about it.
Okay.
Is there anything he's not overseeing?
Hello, Kim Connor. Supplies, trade, procurement. Anything you need, I can provide. Though I hear you've got Vetra Nix keeping you well stocked.
You know Vetra?
I worked with her on the Nexus in those days of chaos. But I need ground under my feet, and soon hopefully trade
Sup,
will
Yetta?
flourish on Eos.
You said you know Vetra. What's she really like?
Ah, Vetra. You're lucky to have her. Few weathered the mutiny on the Nexus as gracefully. The mutineers tried to convince her to join them. She refused, yet many of them are still her contacts and allies. If Vetra Nix has advice for you, I'd listen.
Does the outpost have everything it needs?
The Nexus furnished us with the basics, but that isn't enough for a home. Providing the rest is my responsibility. The labs can't work without good logistics. They'll have it.
Is EOS trading with any new partners?
Right now, just the Nexus, but I have contracts with Wildcat salvages and independent miners. There will be more.
So how did you end up here, Connor?
Me? You're the Grand Explorer. I fill out requisition forms.
Really? Everyone here has some kind of story.
I left mine back home. Or... the... still... Ask me another time.
Okay.
See you later.
Be well. Come back again.
Okay.
Hello, Ryder.
Hello.
Henderson at the shuttle landing pad told he heard it.
Formal request for Darket Tirvian. Making the request again, Bradley. I know it's not your fault. I know she's supposed to be second wave, but I want a trail so that when all this calms down in a few years, we can get proper outraged about how long it took to reunite family. Especially one's hurt during the Site 1 out of 2 mess. You know, broken promise is a thing, right? Requesting deployment of Darket Tirvian, an asset that will help my village. She's also my dog.
Izzy, you gotta stop listening.
Got a merchant. Sell all savage.
I keep wondering what our scientists will cook up for Eos.
We came to explore and learn. That's who we are.
Really hope all those scientists will be safe out here.
This file is filled with sketches, annotations, and exploded schematic views. Many are focused on a combined road monorail network for EOS, showing several different but brilliant designs. Always good to go back to the old standby when I need to think. Underneath are several doodles showing elegant redesigns of the next tram system map. Posted to one side are a number of downloaded statistics on predicted population growth over the next century. Got a baseline. Bradley's always good for the number. Adjoining the statistics is a blacked out simplistic drawing of Prodromos, dotted lines showing expansion with detailed sketches of water and sewage lines underground, wireless power routers, and the flow of foot traffic. Fox, how is it there? I heard Bradley has things up and running smoothly. I know you guys could do it. Tell me all about EOS. It's boring here, so I have to live vicariously through. Oh, you remember that girl I told you about? The Asari? Going out this weekend. I can't believe she said yes. Wish me luck. Now it's your turn, buddy. Ellis. Ooh, we got some romance.
You haven't got a fuel cell, have you? The quartermaster says there's plenty, but she would. Wait. Oh, shit, you're the Pathfinder. Sorry, no one
I
said
saw
you were
it.
coming by.
I'm just Ryder. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, I'm Fox, Chief Engineer for Prodromos. Anything you need, ask away.
What brought you all the way to Andromeda?
There's a colony back home you've never heard of. Viridis. It failed. Hard. I grew up there watching things fall apart. When I left, I got into infrastructure, civil engineering. Boring stuff unless you've ever lived without it. I wanted to do Viridis right, I guess. And the initiative was my best chance.
What do you do here?
My team gets things going. Water, power, communications, everything a civilization needs. Well, not laws or a constitution, but it's easier to concentrate on those when you got a flushing toilet.
What do you think about your new home?
First impressions? We've got water, clear skies for solar power, plants to farm. The remnants are a wild card, but Bradley says you have them covered. It'll take work, no question, but I think EOS is really going to be something.
What are the other outpost staff like?
Like Connor, you mean? She's pretty fun when you get to know her. Just don't get to know her over a poker game. Trust me.
Okay.
Bye, Fox.
Have a good one.
Pathfinder.
That is me. I am the Pathfinder.
Another memory trigger?
Yes, though my memory array remains locked. Additional triggers are required.
Mayor Bradley.
Pathfinder, good to see you. We're busy as anything thanks to you. Bit dusty, but we can adapt. It's worth it when it's your own.
Let's not drive people too hard. Rough enough getting this far.
Nothing you see here came from cracking a whip. Everyone is just ready. You go do what you need to on the Nexus. Follow that dot. There will be more to do on EOS later. Some key positions: Connor Supply, Ramirez Medical, Abrams Science, Fawkes Engineering. With them and my major domo, we won't end up like Site 1 and 2.
I combed the first 2 outpost attempts. Those people died trying.
And they deserved better from the Nexus. That's where I point the finger. We'll remember. You changed this planet, but that doesn't make it easy. We'll use the efforts of those who went before. Good people, every last one. I'd have been honored to fail with any of them.
I haven't reached the end of that trail, but not everyone died outright.
Right. They tell me there were staggered evacs. If any want to try again, they're welcome. Oh, and Pathfinder, this is for you. It's our flag. Hang it where the Nexus can see. It's touched the soil of our first outpost in Andromeda. Make it real.
Okay.
Hello there.
How? What technology can do this so quickly? Neutralizing the radiation in the atmosphere without dramatic storm effects? Shit, the opposite. The weather's gone calm as a summer's day. That's unprecedented control over atmospheric pressure, gas mixture, temperature, what else? And where's the interaction? It's the dogs. Walking them in the Shuttleport Park has always helped me think through these problems. Forget side effects, too. I should get a dog. Are there dogs? I got damn lucky with the conditions. This is comparable to sea level Earth. Eos is drier, but within limits. Moisture is binding into the desert plants and soil. More now since the vault. Points to a species with the same air mix, temperature, gravitational comfort levels as us? Or is there another reason? Can't predict intent from the results. Maybe Ryder's the one to figure out why, the how. That's my department now. Luckily, old Hanley, you wanted bigger things, you sure got them.
Pathfinder, mind giving me your opinion on this? I'm planning classes for our first school, when we have one. Some say we shouldn't teach Milky Way history. All irrelevant now, apparently.
We were all shaped by that history. Our children deserve to know how and why.
Agreed. Maybe you'll change a few minds. Thanks for stopping.
Ah, Pathfinder. I hear you're to thank for a physics-defying atmosphere processor.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm Ryder.
Hanley Abrams, Director of Scientific Research on EOS, and writer of papers that start what the hell weather. But, new galaxy, new world, and a really new start. Gotta keep up. How can I help you?
What do you make of Lieutenant Bradley?
Determined as hell. And he has incredible faith in us to get this done. Bradley would carry this outpost on his back if he had to, and we'll make sure he never has to.
Activating that vault changed the planet. Anything to worry about?
Considering it's world-altering technology we've never encountered before, I hope not. But the storms show no signs of returning, and I know who to contact for Remnant tech support. I'll take it.
Research?
What kind of research are you working on?
Your basic first in scientific work, soil, water, atmospherics, plus studying Remnant tech, because now I need to understand that to survive here.
I've got to go.
Keep up the good work.
Okay. Major Domo.
Over here.
Director's hand from Bradley. 10. Appreciate the personal interest, but my people are getting twitchy with all the messages you're sending them. I'd like their minds on the job, not being under a microscope. Addison's the one I call. I get it. Site 1 and 2 are still raw to us too. The Prodromos isn't the same. No better way to prove that than to let us do our jobs. Give them space and I'll give you all the footage you need to make it play well back on the next. Read, Bradley. Everyone, initial setup went by the books and we're operational in record time. Be proud. I am. Now that the first deployment wave is in, I'm giving the all clear to break into the good stuff. We've got a new colony to toast and some lost friends to say goodbye to. Let's go down and drinks raise up at 2000. Bradley. Nice. Bradley knows how to party. That's very important to morale.
Scott. I have headaches, so you don't have to. Rather, so Bradley doesn't have to. I've also coordinated with your Ket expert. He wanted me to remind you to find him.
I didn't assign a Ket expert to Prodromos.
Then he's a hell of a self-motivator. Here's the nav anyway. Precision is important.
Thoughts on your boss?
The old man. He's pretty tied into what happens here. I just pick up the day-to-day scraps. Good at cracking the whip for these science types. Doesn't fall for the details. I hope he's proud. Feels like he's proud.
Thoughts on how the outpost is doing? The planet?
Stellar. We keep it up, we'll make this world look like the brochures.
How did you come to the initiative?
Like many, I was lost and looking for a purpose. That sounds loftier than it felt at the time. I was an insufferable ass. The training for the trip was probably enough to cure me of it. But I always took things too far. Didn't know how to stop alienating people until I was the alien. See? Still insufferable.
Sounds like you left some interesting circumstances.
I miss the family, and maybe they miss me. But that doesn't mean I'd go back. I mean, we can't, but still. I like where I came from. It's a great place to be from. Know what I mean?
I know exactly how you feel. Couldn't wait to be from somewhere.
Like a bullet leaves a gun. Sometimes you just gotta go.
Where'd you launch out of?
The pale blue dot, Terra Prime. Big old boring Earth. I miss that wet dog smell after the first snow melts. I don't know why. What about you? Miss anything?
Things were easier. So much already built. We get to do it all again, for good or bad, I guess.
Better get it right. Another time. Of course.
There's more he wanted.
Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Any trouble with the Ket?
Clearing the sky cleared it for the bad guys as well as us. So some uptick in hostility was to be expected. We've some tricks up our sleeves, thanks to the research teams. That only goes so far. Your expert is still out there. He'd have more current information than I.
Another time.
Of course.
Who the fuck's my cat expert? Is it the fucking Krogan? Mr. Josephs, I find it troubling that you think I could be swayed from my duty by an offer of credits. I understand Victor Carson is a friend of yours, but that's hardly an adequate reason to release him from cryostasis and send him to Prodroma. Beyond that, from what I hear, you two are a disaster waiting to happen. I know all about the prank you and Mr. Carson pulled on Everett before the journey to Helios. Victor Carson will be released from stasis when I see fit, and assigned to an outpost that best suits his skill set. And I figure if I hear you've gone over my head and spoken to Addison about this, you'll have me to answer. On examination, no organic underlying cause. Apparently suffered a mechanical failure when coming out of stasis that locked her in the pod. Clear psychosomatic case. Symptoms are acute. Prescribed petrovoxine and VR post-stasis therapy. Next appointment in 2 weeks. I'm seeing several cases of post-stasis anxiety and other related conditions. The techies solved a lot of the physical effects of long-term stasis, but we are clearly seeing the psychological effects run a lot deeper. People just aren't designed to be turned off for too long. Talk with Henley about a long-term research initiative. We're first for a lot of things. Patient lost his grip and fell during maintenance work on the roof. Jump jets failed to fire. Compound fractures to the right leg, severe sprains to left ankle. Patient showed an allergic reaction to anesthetic. I borrowed August and a couple engineers to hold 076 down while I set the legs. Application of foam cast and appropriate analgesics followed. Noisy day, but hopefully an object lesson learned for the rest of the outpost about jump jet maintenance. Patient is healing nicely. Could be falling off roofs again in a week. That's one way to look at it.
Right.
Ramirez.
August said you might swing by. Ryder, yes? Dr. Ramirez. Run the clinic here on Eos. Much better than life as an Alliance medic.
Good to meet you.
I'll guess you're not here for a checkup. How can I help you?
What do you think of Bradley?
I've known him for years. Was the squad medic when he was injured, and we kept in touch after his discharge. He's a smart fellow, a good lieutenant, but a better mayor. And it bugs him when I call him August. So I restrict myself to 2-3 times a day.
What's the latest from your clinic?
Usual checkups for first-in colonists. Plus a few cases of dehydration and some blindness. Nothing serious.
Why did you join the Andromeda initiative?
I served in the Alliance as a medic, but they'd say I saw one Batarian slave raid too many. I knew August, Bradley, and when he signed on to the initiative, he suggested I consider it. This seemed like a better frontier.
What's it like living in our first successful outpost?
It's early days, but promising. Everyone pitches in, everyone matters. We know we'll make this work.
I'll leave you to it.
Come back anytime. Preferably unhurt.
I can't promise that. Right? What? Can't reach it. I reached it. So this place is blocked off. More fluorite? I think. Oh god, hiccups. Fuck. Fluorite. Terminal. Please remember that everything shipped to the landing pad, especially from off-world rather than sealed Nexus supplies, must go through quarantine procedures via confined observation, spot testing, bacteriological scans, or radioactive sterilization. We are a new presence on Eos, and everything added to the ecosystem will have an effect down the line. Our job is to make sure it's a beneficial one. Strong quarantine practices really help us out. Abrams. Addendum. If anyone tries to tell me or Hanley that your shipment's a special case and you don't need to bother, you'll be running quarantine twice. That vault doohickey might be clearing the atmosphere, but we've still got pockets of high radiation and bad weather across the continent. Telepresence update. Zones 10 through 12 are still smoking hot, but Zone 8 is showing a drop. Watch your shuttle's radiation shield absorption. They can take up to 190 safely. Anything more and you need to head back for a refit. And remember, if you're carrying power cells or radiological equipment, those can throw your readings off. Make sure you're as safe as you think. Pilot. Okay. I scan the big circular thing. I want to scan it. It looks scannable. It's not scannable. The arm. Is that a base top? Oh, radar thing. This is the only way I can get the word out before someone gets killed. My work crew, they keep talking about that remnant tech. They think the initiative's lying about how dangerous, but a couple of electrodes in the right place could get the remnant to work for them instead. They tried before, and I helped out in medbay when those remnant observers carved up our team. But Jennings says we could live like kings if we had an army of remnant bots working and fighting. He's taking a whole work crew to help him this time. If I have to go with him. Maybe I can talk to him, but if I can't, someone should know why we didn't go.
Someone left a warning. Looks like a work crew thinks they can take control of the remnant.
That's a recipe for trouble.
Work crew rosters are posted publicly.
The datapad mentioned medbay. A little work, we could find where to catch up with them.
Center. I think it wanted me to do. Why am I coughing? Got a throat still itching. Ah. Okay. I want the N7 armor. I have 3 sauce. Mission. Let's hop in my shiny gold. Even though we're closer. Grab it. Whew.
Work rosters. That datapad mentioned the name Jennings. Here, Axel Jennings. Assigned to set up weather monitoring devices all over the desert. Too many locations to check them all. We need to narrow it down.
Can't repeat. I already grabbed it before Alright, let's talk to...
This definitely treated wounds caused by a remnant. That datapad said the work crew tried to control them.
Sand particles were removed from the wound. Analyzing. Comparing with locations from the work roster, it's likely the injury occurred near a monolith.
Let's go.
Alright, let's see here. That. Post mission, let's go there. Let's do it.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
No sign of that work crew, but someone left their gear behind. Wait, I've got an open comm channel.
Easy money. Once the electrical charge builds up.
Lexi, found another colonist.
So many. All right, send me their information.
Oh shit, I gotta get there fast. Where are they?
No sign of that work crew, but someone left their gear behind.
Not exactly a Christmas-type planet.
Eos will have holidays, once we figure out the seasons.
I'm trying to look at the potential. In 50 years, this could be a beach vacation.
Down low.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
Earth had formations like this. Made a lot of kids think of alien worlds.
Water and weather. Nothing tougher in the long run.
Help us! Please!
Enemy
Turn around so I can speak to you. No, it's time. There we go.
Great timing. Thanks for the assist.
Your experiment with the remnant didn't work out.
Huh. Okay, who squealed? Gasbrick? Yeah, I bet. These remnant could plow our fields, protect us from the Ket. You control them, why shouldn't we?
How many people need to get hurt before you stop this?
Pathfinder's got a point, Jennings.
Fine. But you can't protect us all the time, Pathfinder. Out here, we need every edge we can get.
I mean, yeah, but if your efforts are to kill more people than the hell. Guilt. Got it. Power recharge. Power. I like power. Okay. The depth profile is not ranked. I don't know what that means. 2 points. 2 points. How do I... Or wait, can I not do that? Feeling that means I cannot. Die. Body. Nope, can't scan him. Okay. I see stuff and I just want to scan it.
My sensors read a mineral not found in my database, Pathfinder.
Ooh!
That's something we can scan for Chief Lucan?
It would improve his geophysics VI considerably. Detecting a...
Uh-oh. I'm in danger.
Gil has tuned the Nomad perfectly for EOS.
We're outfitted best we can be. I like busting dunes, getting all 6 wheels off the ground.
Whoa.
Radiation levels normal.
I'm off.
Radiation levels increasing. Radiation within safe levels.
Nope, it can't go down there. Fine.
This is resonating now. Probably with the vault.
Detecting above normal radiation levels. Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
I know, I'm trying to find you its resources, Sam. Yep, I'm out of these units. Whoopsie. I ran it over.
Got them all. Seems less harsh than when we first landed.
This is where Chief Reynolds died.
Sandstorms would have buried the body long ago. I suggest scanning.
Found it.
Karkins.
Pathfinder, there is an armor piece buried deep. A leg bracer. Scan into it for bone fragments clinging to it. DNA identified as Chief Reynolds. Indications suggest his body was torn to pieces.
So the Chief became Karkin food.
Circle of life can be gruesome.
The remaining armor will be scattered, or perhaps brought to a nest. The chest piece and his Omni tool may explain his death.
Then we keep searching and scanning.
Another armor piece. Chief Reynolds' helmet.
The search continues.
Really scattered out the fucking shit.
Pathfinder. The scanners picked up Chief Reynolds' chest piece, confirming single shot. Unable to determine weapon type, but entry point was at the back. Exit blast through the chest.
By all accounts, Nilken was in front of the Chief when he fired. So it wasn't his shot that killed him.
The Chief's Omni tool might shed some light. Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
There must be active remnant in there. Let's check it out.
Tempest is a good name. Not the best name, but it's good.
Picking up additional armor scraps. I believe it's a trail leading to a cave nearby.
Could be where the nest is located. It's a Karkin nest, all right. Fan out.
Confirming initiative equipment, including Omni tool assigned to Security Chief Hiram Reynolds. If you power it up, I can exhume its data. Accessing data. The Chief was scanning at the time of death. The scan picked up 2 shots. 1. A standard initiative rifle report, which missed. The other from behind, a Ket pulse weapon.
This proves Nilken is innocent. He didn't shoot Reynolds.
Seems clear to me. Good work.
Pathfinder, there is also an audio recording.
Go ahead and play it.
No! Where's Nilken?
Sorry, old friend. Had to do it. I'm not dying on this rock.
Son of a bitch.
Confirming. Voice identified as suspect, Nilken. So he did not kill the Chief.
But he meant to. Need another chat with the man.
Can't go out there. Nilkin, you were about to be cleared and then you had to say something.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
The sky is beautiful in its own way.
Our people came a long way. Nothing here will stop them.
I do.
Nice work.
Uh-oh.
Recovery's a long-term process.
Hard lessons we can't forget.
Should be a memorial or monument when there's time.
Sam, another memory prompt?
Yes, though my memory array remains locked. Additional triggers are required.
Hostiles ahead!
Pathfinder, this is the spot where Nigel McCoy wanted you to leave his pendant.
In honor of his brother, Dash McCoy.
Radiation within safe levels. Life support restored. Detecting above normal radiation levels.
What up here? Chief Engineer Grace Lee. Final entry. I'm closing muster point Delta and calling the evac. No one left has responded. 4 of them. Resume. Enough of that. Couldn't even finish one damn project that might have saved me. This rock beat us and I accept my... Drain the list shuttle out. Likely back into cryo. I won't be a drain if it's a long slide. If there's a way to finish what we started, I'll be back. This is Chief Engineer Grace Lee, E97 Durango.
Recording Initiative Cryo Identification E97 Durango. Chief Engineer Grace Leto.
Last one out during the evac.
She took risks and they didn't work. But nothing worked.
Gave it everything she could. Maybe that's all you can do.
Radiation levels normal.
Someone's here? Side.
Pathfinder, I have enough sensory data to reconstruct an image. I could provide analysis via the scanner, Pathfinder.
My radiation shields are dead, but I finally made it to Site 1, promised. It's a ghost town. Damn it, there's gotta be something the Storms and Rat Pack salvagers didn't take away. About the project, Site 2 is done for. Our crews get torn apart faster than we can patch things up, and hear that thing at night. I pretend it's the weather anymore. Wind doesn't roar like it's hungry. Managed to pry enough components out for the project and patch up my ship. Heading home to Site 2.
There was something very wrong at the second outpost they made.
An attack? The radiation?
Whatever it was, Site 2 made a special project to handle it. Let's keep it in mind for later.
Wilcox thinks I'm crazy, but I know what I saw. Eyes on the mountain, watching us. We're not alone out here.
This log was recorded a day before the first Ket ambush on Site 1.
The Ket scouted them out.
We can't survive another attack. The storms and radiation were already killing us. Now we've got those things.
We can't return to the Nexus with our tails between our legs. The whole station is counting on us.
Then they're counting on corpses.
Those things must be talking about the Ket.
Well, Site 2 we go. Where'd I put my fucking vehicle? A gold and it's so shiny. Run shit over. That's how you do things here. The Andromeda initiative.
Radiation levels have spiked, Pathfinder. Approaching Site 2. Resilience.
It was sold as the one we get right, but it didn't have time to get worn down. Got wiped out by Ket.
He died protecting this outpost, and we left him.
We'll make it right, Liam.
Portable cover.
Lexi, update records for Trinitas Gordanus.
Consider it done, Pathfinder.
Looks like a war zone.
Recording.
Lexi, I've got another one.
Standing by. Waiting for your scan.
Where? Ah.
Y'all are Thysa.
Records updated, Pathfinder.
Pathfinder, I have enough sensory data to reconstruct an image of the past.
Maybe we can push the Ket back.
With what army? Can you even find the safety on your pistol?
I'm just going through the options.
Evacuate or die. Those are the options.
Initiative's not military. They weren't prepared.
Maybe we can push the Ket back.
With what army? Can you even find the safety?
Emily, how does it feel to be 28? I'm sorry I can't be with you, but I hope you live it up with your friends on the Nexus. Go wild! Did you get my gift? I built the kennel especially for him. I know he can't replace Buster. They say if you raise an Adhi from a pup, they'll bond to you for life. Give him a good name for me. Talk me up so he knows I'm on good side. I hope you have a birthday as amazing as you are. Next year, we'll celebrate together. You, me, and a little scrap. I love you. Remedius, I received your request. I apologize, but a transfer isn't possible at this time. I understand your sister was on the Turian Ark and that you'd like to be out there looking. But with no contact from Atanas since our departure from the Milky Way, your efforts would be wasted. The initiative needs you here on Io, researching methods to sustain viability. Your work is important for us all. You'll have to be patient and wait for word of Natanas surface. Hey kiddo, hope everything's going okay down there. Rumors are spreading about the unfriendly locals, but I know it's nothing you can't handle. I wanted you to know the thing we talked about last week is happening. Lone gave the sign to... We're doing it tomorrow. If it all goes as planned, I'm bringing you back here to celebrate. If not? Well, it's been fun. No regrets, right? Stay safe out there. Talk to you soon. Oh.
I'm just going through the options.
Initiative's not military. They weren't prepared.
Got a body over here.
Override works, but... Sam, the door was sealed from the outside?
Yes, but...
You'd think there'd be more bodies. Not that I'm complaining.
What the... Pathfinder, that body.
A scan might help us figure that out. West, Porter M. Get that, Lexi?
Yes, Pathfinder. Records updated.
Secondary terminals. No access. Sam?
If deployment is standard, main access will be deeper in.
Way too quiet.
Looks like they left in a hurry.
Reports said the evac was cut off by Ket.
Pathfinder, a maintenance bulletin was issued at the time of shutdown.
What does it say?
Run.
Override! Close it! Tempest, we have an unknown enemy. Evac the Pathfinder.
Whoa, hold on.
No go, Harper. We have to lay low. Ket are inbound to your location.
Ket and that thing? Son of a...
Well, go fucking fight some shit. Oh my god, that thing's huge. I'm gonna go over here.
Another dropship with reinforcements. Watch out! Out there.
And the Ket? Everything's ground until they're gone.
the anointing body. Damn it. Right. There. One more fucking person. 2 more. Just staring at each other.
Clear? We're clear!
No wonder Site 2 failed. Brazilian or not.
Not sure what's worse.
Happy thoughts, Leah.
Wrong way.
Surprised the Nexus still wants an outpost on Eos.
You know what they say. Third time's a charm. We'll make this right.
Okay.
Schematics for Special Project Sigma. They were building something, but there are parts missing. This must be the project they were salvaging at Site 1. A way to fight the Ket.
We could finish it.
All components at Site 2 had security tags, compiling possible nav points.
Got a component for Site 2's project.
Right, now to drive all the way over there.
Radiation levels increasing.
Need that. Right.
God damn it. One of our shuttles ahead.
Worth checking, if only to make sure the Ket don't get to keep it.
All Site 2 components are accounted for.
Let's head to Site 2's research station and see what good they do.
I can't believe the Nexus exiled so many.
We weren't there.
We are now. Someone's got to fix this mess.
We support that Pathfinder, one job at a time. Look out for anything big and hungry.
Resilience is more than a name.
What the... Pathfinder, that body.
A scan might help us figure that out.
I already scanned it.
Life support is back online.
Nice. Let's get to a research station, see what we've got.
Ew. Radius. Liam. Radius. Okay. Well, that's cool. Planet. Oh.
Ascent is go.
Tempest.
Leaving Atlo. All clear. Before the meeting gets started, I have bunk assignments for PB and Drac.
Already put my rucksack in the kitchen. I'll hang out there if that's okay.
And I'm in one of the escape pods. More my speed. That's fantastic. Welcome aboard. Any thoughts, Ryder?
We're adventurers. Whatever makes the squad comfortable is okay with me. Let's talk about our success on Eos. Besides establishing our first viable outpost, we did some amazing things. We discovered the Remnant and breached their vault.
And didn't get killed.
Overcame radiation poisoning a number of times.
And didn't die.
Confronted by Ket at every turn.
Once again, did not get killed.
You guys really need to raise the bar on what you call success.
Yeah, should we use the Krogan definition of success that got your homeworld nuked by your own people?
Fair enough.
Let's focus. Back to the task at hand. Looking forward.
Exactly. Here's my only question. When do we hit that next vault? It looked active. We have to get on that.
Hang on, hang on. We need to not go off half-cocked.
There are initiative priorities. The team calls the shots.
Actually, the Pathfinder calls the shots, just to be clear.
Thank you, Cora.
So what do you need from us, Ryder?
Let's be kind and give each other the benefit of the doubt. Finding a home for tens of thousands in this hellscape is stressful enough without adding dysfunction.
You got it, boss.
If Krogan are known for one thing, it's getting along.
But not humility or self-awareness.
Okay, let's head back to the Nexus. PB, Drac, see Lexi for a physical. Good meeting, everyone.
Nah. Great meeting. I think everything went well. Everything was smooth. Okay.
Ryder, when you've got a minute, stop by the medbay.
Then okay. Next. I only have 30. Ah! No one's in here. Yeah. Anyone in here?
Nice place you found.
Ah!
Clean air, plants, helps me think.
Something on your mind?
Maybe.
What the hell was that?
I know that look. It's just my biotics reacting to all this. I don't normally lose it like that. A huntress should have better control.
Huntress?
Another term for an Asari commando. I was one, before the initiative. Some things stick, though. Like losing the old man.
How does a human soldier get to serve with Asari?
Prove your biotics can rip an APC apart, and people get nervous. Funny that. The Alliance found me a cross-species military initiative in a hurry. Sent me to Thessia to serve with the Huntress unit. One of the few places where my powers were welcomed. Your father made another one.
There's a lot of loss going around. Dad, the Golden Worlds.
A friend and mentor who trained you to be a Pathfinder. I said I wouldn't get in the way, and I meant it. But I prepped for years as your father's second. Then he chooses you? An untrained Pathfinder and all this mess to fix? The hell was he thinking?
That sounded a bit rude.
Is this going to be a problem, Cora?
I don't want a rival. Just answers. It's done. Best I can do now is be your second. Keep your father's mission alive. Then maybe we'll all get what we came out here for.
Even if we get there, there's a mountain of hard work ahead.
Working hard was never my problem. Biotics like this. Thinking like an Asari huntress. I never had a place. Best I could be was a useful freak. The initiative was meant to be different. Will be different if this mission succeeds. So I'm seeing it through. It's quiet in here. I can keep the plants watered while I work. First job, see if there's any news on the Asari Ark. If they made it, we could use some Asari expertise. If you want to talk, I'll be here. Ryder?
You were in the Alliance before you became a Huntress, right? What made you join up?
My biotics. I was still living on my parents' cargo freighter when they manifested. Untrained biotic power on a starship means accidents, but we couldn't afford a tutor. The Alliance had implants, the training, everything. Old history now. Your turn. Remind me why you came to Andromeda.
I spent years watching pioneers go through the Arcturus mass relays. Off to glory, while I stayed behind. Then Dad's career collapsed. His AI research made him too toxic.
I heard. Must have changed everything for your family.
It was time to forge my story and my horizons, and to give Sarah a shot at making the discovery of a lifetime. So, Andromeda.
None of you writers ever think small, do you?
What did you do while you were part of the Asari military?
4 years in a commando unit called Talane's Daughters. Part of the Council's cross-species military integration initiative. You probably had a more exciting time defending that Arcturus relay. But we did good work. Peacekeeping is a full-time job, even in Asari space.
What was your commando unit like?
Janae and I were the youngsters. Tethys was our old lady sniper. Kalia patched us up, and Valenza prayed between firefights. Our CO, Nasira, led us all over the Athena Nebula and beyond. A Huntress's work is never done.
Who'd pick a fight with the most powerful species in the galaxy?
Themselves, usually. Terrorists, cults, rogue Ardat Yakshi, people demanding a withdrawal from the Citadel. The Asari were spacefaring when our Roman Empire was new. Didn't fix all their problems. Sometimes you need commandos for that.
After 4 years with Asari commandos, you must have some great war stories.
Nasira assassinated a Krogan warlord with a pack of playing cards once.
A pack of cards?
Choking hazard, apparently.
Wow. How's the search for the Asari Ark going?
The Lucinia? Checking every comm that's coming in. Nothing concrete yet.
Okay.
See you later, Cora.
I'll be here.
If you're looking for me, I'm in the escape pod room.
Pathfinder, making the rounds. Slumming it, huh? Want to see how the riffraff are making out?
Hey, it's a dirty job. Are you the riffraff spokesman?
King, actually. You might want to bow. Otherwise, no telling what might fall off the Nomad when you're out there.
I'll take my chances. Just want to see how things are going with the ship.
I can coax more out of this baby than some might think, but we shouldn't go too far or push too hard between Nexus stops. For now. It just feels good to be stretching our wings, you know? Locked and idle too long, you start to drift. People, same as ships. Stuck on the Nexus, gotta say, I was regretting joining the initiative.
Combat is what's most enjoyable.
I doubt you were the only one.
Yes, but it's a new thing for me, regret. I tend to live the way I work. Kind of feel it, do it. Not a lot of close ties, no real sense of purpose. Figured maybe I'd find my true calling in Andromeda. Then I got here and, oops, I just made a decision there's no turning back from. I was going nuts on that station. You can't know how jazzed I was when you showed up.
You mean how jazzed you were that a Pathfinder showed up?
Tomato, potato. You just keep pointing this ship wherever you want it to go, and I'll make sure she can get there. Deal?
Deal.
Like, as long as the game looks good, as long as, you know, you're looking far away, but the moment they get close to the face, it just like, ugh.
Long time no chat. What's up?
How tough was it on the Nexus all those months?
Have you ever eaten overcooked space cow tongue?
Like, the body animations,
well, then
they're pretty good.
It's super tough. Wondering
when
if
you're
you
in like a
die from
cutscene.
a critical malfunction, or maybe starvation. Imagining which would be worse. But hey, you could always take a break from the fear and boredom to dwell on being a part of the biggest failure in galactic history. Maybe even participate in a revolt.
What was your take on that?
I didn't place any bets, if that's what you're asking. Truth is, I don't think anyone made out particularly well. Whatever
that
side
place
you're
that
on,
I
you
am,
die a little
guess
when
what
your
about
brother,
it?
your teammate, becomes an enemy.
Don't you understand?
We traveled all this way, all hope and wonder, and we end up fighting with each other over scraps. It's sad.
What's your social circle like?
I'm good for a laugh, so I know lots of people, but I don't let too many in. My one true friend is stationed on the Nexus. She's the only piece of the Milky Way I brought with me. The more you and I get to know each other, the more you'll probably hear about her.
I hear we have you to thank for getting the Tempest space ready so quickly.
Vetra brings her impossible feats to me. I was itching to get this particular call, capital R, ready. Don't tell her, but the truth is, I fudge reports to come in early, then bust ass in secret to make up for it. Expands the guild legend. Plus, I convey calm and assurance, and the whole team relaxes, which helps them do their jobs better.
Seems like we have a good group here.
Well, Vetra and Suvi are my girls. Get along well. Lots of mutual respect. PB's a real spark plug. I like her, but she's exhausting. And Drax's my kind of guy. Brash. Takes no shit.
I'll take a look at the codex
your
and see if we can
Hyperion
find
peeps go,
anything about the drive that
Doc's kind of nosy.
the Tempest is
Liam's
using.
good for a laugh or two. Cora, she's a bit by the book for me.
By the book keeps us alive.
Hey, variety's the spice of life, right? Different strokes makes for healthy debate.
What about Callow?
He's a pilot.
Which means...
he flies the ship.
We're leaving it at that then?
Does a Pathfinder know what to do with a dead end?
Good talking to you, Gil.
Anytime.
Okay, let's take a look here. Technology. That's probably not gonna be that. Survey ship. Stealth system. Okay, so it uses a ODSY drive. So they don't. So it's not a Tantalus drive. So I think it's a different drive. Yeah. They probably reused the engine model. I don't think this game had a long development cycle, because I think originally there was supposed to be a Mass Effect 4 that was in development, and then that got canned, and it got switched over to Andromeda. Like, I think BioWare is a complete mess when it comes to development. At least within the last decade, ever since, like, after Mass Effect 3, BioWare has just been a complete mess. No. Yeah. It's a miracle that Dragon Age Inquisition was a good game.
Oh, hey, Pathfinder.
The Pathfinder's there? Let me say hi.
Fine, but don't embarrass me. Ryder, this is Sid, my sister. Sid, Ryder.
Let me guess. Little sister?
Who are you calling little?
Look, kiddo, gotta go.
Wait,
Yeah,
Ryder,
Mass Effect
I just wanted to
3,
know if...
really up until, like, that last
So I know
hour
it
of the
feels like I
game
just jumped aboard your ship
was
without
amazing.
explanation.
Like, really until... I mean, there were parts that were still good, but I think they needed to, like, explain it better. And I think if they maybe had time to better stick the landing, it would have been good. Like, I love Dragon Age Inquisition. I think that's a great game.
No, I know.
Yeah,
but
it sucks that the real ending of Inquisition was in a
crew,
DLC.
Even the actuators Gil prefers for the ship.
But, like,
better, I know.
the amount of hours I've put into Inquisition, I didn't mind
going to be at their
paying
best.
that money.
We've been failing for months, Ryder. Now that we have you, we have a chance.
I think
here.
Inquisition was probably the last good game. from BioWare. The last really solid one, at least.
Ability to haggle with the locals?
Oh yeah,
Great.
you know.
But please tell me you're also good in a fight.
You're right.
Like I said
Leviathan did
before,
that too.
Wrangler, Provisioner, Gunner, and everything in between.
But like, since I
do what
only
have
played
to.
Mass Effect 3
We all have a personal stake in this.
with the Legendary
If it keeps going
Edition,
the way it's been,
I don't know
we're
really
all
what was
dead.
excluded in
I
base
should
game
track
and
down
not.
the lead for Gil's actuators.
So
back channels. You know.
that's how I'm looking at it.
We'll chat later.
Well, like Inquisition didn't really have many lore reveals. Out. I mean, yeah, I guess if you count the reveal with. Well, no, because it was told to us. And no, I think Inquisition did a good job. Now that I'm thinking of it, like you already knew the stuff was being hinted to in the main story at the end of the game, on who the villain was, who the wolf is, and then the DLC comes out and it just. I swear, if I can't, I've said this multiple times before. If I'm not my fucking Inquisitor dealing with the fucking main villain of the next game,
Atmo processors, gravity wells,
I'm gonna be
life-destroying
upset.
murder bubbles.
I'm gonna be upset.
We really had no idea what Helios was about, did we?
If we knew what it was all about, it wouldn't be an adventure. It would just be moving. And everyone hates moving. Just the packing alone, ugh.
Point taken. I'm just saying. I really hope you have a plan, Ryder.
The plan's the same. We find a home. Whatever that takes.
Keep that drive.
It's been a while
Makes
since
me
I've
believe
played
we can make it.
Inquisition. I think I might
I mean,
have to
we have to
replay
make
it.
it. The alternative
on
is
stream.
not even worth thinking about.
How did you hear of the Andromeda initiative?
Short answer.
I kind of want
Cash.
to wait
She was
until
looking for some experimental ship
there's more
mods, and I knew how to
information
track them
on
down. I
the
thought
next
it was
dra-
a one-time
on
deal,
the
but
next
she
Dragon
came
Age
back
game before
once,
replaying it.
twice.
I
Eventually,
kinda
I
want a
figured out
reveal
something
date.
was going on, something big with creds behind it. I asked, and she told me about the initiative. New galaxy, new home. Couldn't pass that up.
You talked about your back channels. What did you mean?
We brought a lot from home. Some of it marked initiative, some of it in personal caches. Most things you want, someone's got. You just have to figure out who, and what they're willing to take in exchange.
It can't be that simple.
Oh, but it is. Most things are simple once you know the trick to them.
You were on the Nexus when the revolt happened?
When you promise people golden worlds and all they get are wastelands and a death cloud, they riot. Some wanted to go home, some demanded answers.
I still
and
can't
a
believe
couple just
fucking
wanted to
Casey
stir
Hudson
shit
was
up.
the creative
You?
director behind
Some
Anthem.
days I wondered if the exiles had a point. Maybe we were conned into
I think
coming
he
here.
was.
But why would the initiative go to all this trouble just to screw us over? Thing about conning
Creative
people, you always
director.
know something they don't. And that's why the con works.
Who the
And if
fuck?
I'm going to pick a side, I'm picking the
No, it
liars.
was Neil Wilkes. I thought Casey Hudson played a part. Hold on, now I gotta. Oh, Casey Hudson has a new game studio. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, that. Got a new studio that'll give us video. I like that. Alright, hold on. He did work on Anthem. What did he do now? What did he... Doesn't really say. He must have just been like... They must have just credited him like, yeah,
You probably have work to
he
do.
helped us
We
now
can
and
chat
then.
later.
You know where to find me.
Pathfinder, help me with something? I know, not exactly standard. Gotta make the space comfortable. Plus, the fabric diffuses the charge from an overclocked Omniblade. Not giving up a 6% boost, right?
Someone brought this to Andromeda?
It was new when we left. It's been a hard year. So, finally time for that beer? And after 2 years and a dozen suspensions, I took a lateral promotion out of the force. Being a cop just didn't fit. But crisis response? Digging people out of trouble? That worked. I bet Hustle followed you into a few peace actions. Think about your Alliance days much?
Tell me about your group.
Heavy Urban Search Terrain 1? Yeah. Earth's contribution to a multi-species disaster response unit. HUST-1, but Hustle looks much better on the patch. All civilians, retired vets, or shits like me. I was fiercely bearded. Tastes better just thinking about those days.
I wanted adventure and mystery at the edge of known space. There was so much to see. Seems like a long time ago.
600 years, give or take. So, Pathfinder. Why Andromeda?
That blunt, huh?
That blunt.
I hoped my Alliance career would lead to adventure, exploring, hunting dangers in the dark. Didn't happen. Couldn't. But here, everything's new. And I want to see it all.
Ah, I don't hear idealist a lot. Everyone's cynical.
Back at you, Costa. Why'd you come?
I want to say I'm running from my past, but really running from myself. That'd be a great story. But it's bullshit. I had family, friends, a good enough job, nothing was wrong. I just heard about the initiative and I believed in it. I believed in a new beginning. Still do. I have to. We're in it.
If it all goes wrong, it could feel like we left for no reason.
I know why I'm here. A bad start can't change that. I won't let it. In crisis response, I'd focus on essentials. That's you and this team. Pathfinder leads to planets, leads to people. You've got your part covered. You got this. I'll do my damnedest to help with the rest.
I wonder what temperature it's in that ship. Like in my room right now, I have it at a nice 75, 76, around there. Nice and comfy.
Prodromos.
Like I could put on a hoodie and feel a little warmer.
Sounds good, doesn't it? We started Pathfinder. A new life. That is goddamn brilliant.
Whoa. Damn.
We barely covered how you joined.
I'm interested.
Tell me something about yourself.
Alright, I was a bad student, piss poor cop, great responder. Had a good life, but it'd all been done. I wasn't looking to start over. I wanted to start big.
Tell me about your family.
I miss the hell out of them. Some nights you just cry, right?
And I don't know what it is about this game and
Mom Joel,
but I'm
Dad
just
Calvin,
not
both lawyers. Met on the
interested in
citadel, settled on
most
Earth.
of them.
No brothers or sisters. That might have been too much to leave. It was traditional. How about you?
Traditional is a weird term for family. Like normal. Who's that describe?
I suppose you're right. I sure didn't keep to tradition. I said goodbye to my mum and dad and got on a ship to Andromeda.
We'll talk later.
I know it.
Sorry, everyone. I forgot we were taking turns and half the rations aren't unpacked yet. Got you covered, Callow. There's soup in the galley and fruit cocktail. And I think we might have left port without you. Found a mug yesterday near the biolab. Nice one with a magnetized base. Left it stuck sideways to a bulkhead. That's mine. I just put it down for a sec when my hands were full. Next time, maybe empty it first. Oh, wow. I can become famous? Oh. Oh, thank you. I finished the assignment paper for the Nexus, had to fudge a few details, but you are both officially members of the Pathfinder team. Correct? I can publicly about what I said. Thanks, Harper. The best headbutt is always the one you don't see coming. Keep that in mind. Headbutts? Alright, no problem, Taldir. See you tomorrow. Talk to her fucking Krogan.
Don't give the Pathfinder too much trouble. Oh, Rushan.
Who are you talking to?
Kesh, Nexus Superintendent, thinks she can boss me around just because she's my granddaughter.
Well, welcome to the Tempest. Trouble's what we do.
I like the way you think, kid.
Someone somewhere shivered when I said that.
Probably Tam. Damn politicians.
Is that all you brought?
You travel lean when supplies are tight and you're on your own.
Your people had to know what it'd be like when you left the Nexus.
We did, but there weren't a lot of options. After the mutiny happened, it was either buckle under Tan's rules or start our own colony. Easy choice. Bad consequences all around.
Not all Krogan left. Your granddaughter stayed.
Good thing she did. Without my Rushan, you wouldn't have had much of a station to tie your ship to. As for me, I'm way more useful out here. Lots to shoot at, for one.
Your people come first.
Keeping Kesh and our colony safe will always be my top priority. That's why I'm happy to tag along, help make this galaxy a little more hospitable.
Can't argue with that.
Hospitable or hostile?
You're not Harry.
The blue give it away? Habitat 7 was a little more action-packed than Harry bargained for. He decided to spend his retirement years on the Hyperion looking after your sister.
Happy to have you, Dr. DePero.
I'll do my best. Now, hold still.
Ow!
Sorry.
I remember you having a gentler touch.
Still trying to get my bearings. Thought I'd be waking up colonists, not taking care of the Pathfinder.
I couldn't be in better hands.
I just stabbed you.
We all have off days.
I always hoped to work in the field, but everything's happening so quickly.
Focus on the positive. It helps.
I guess this is my opportunity to study alien species firsthand. Getting a Ket specimen aboard the Hyperion would be difficult, but here...
What?
A Ket corpse. For autopsy. A live subject would be better, but I'm not greedy.
Why do you care about the Ket?
Harry didn't tell you? I'm a specialist in alien anatomy. My thesis on Krogan virility and aggression is what got me in the initiative.
I had no idea. I'd love to hear more. Over dinner, maybe?
Whoa! Whoa.
Thing is, Ryder, you're not my type.
What?
What's your type?
Not a patient. I need to be able to look at you clinically without distractions.
Am I distracting?
Not nearly as much as you think you are.
Damn it.
But we were discussing the Ket. An autopsy could teach us potential weaknesses, average lifespan.
Right.
Just something to think about. Sam, make sure the Pathfinder eats his vegetables.
I'm gonna get it. I will be successful. My pursuit. It will be successful.
So we have a stowaway.
You mean PB?
She's decided to set up in one of the escape pods. You don't need a psychologist to tell you that one's got commitment issues.
So how did a sorry doctor end up on the human ark?
Specialist in alien anatomy, remember? That includes humans. Also, Harry insisted. Maybe he always intended to switch jobs.
How long have you and Harry been friends?
I remember when he didn't complain about arthritis. We met at a medical convention on the Citadel. He was moderating a panel on neurosurgery in low-gravity environments. His name card was crooked, but he was so damn confident, I knew we'd be friends.
I need to talk to you about something private.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
When Dad died, he blocked off parts of Sam's memory, things he didn't want me to see.
Or he thought you weren't ready for.
Maybe. I found this trigger. It unlocked a memory fragment of Dad on the Citadel, from when the Alliance rejected his ideas about AI, and he found out Mom's illness was terminal.
Why do you think your father chose this specific memory?
Who knows? Dad's always been one for secrets.
But he's sharing them with you now. That's something.
Why?
How do you think the crew is holding up?
I'm happy to share what I can without violating patient confidentiality.
Anyone in particular? I sort them in their files and my brain by species.
Why do you sort them that way?
Just easier for me to see patterns in behavior.
How do you think the human crew members are handling things?
There's a lot of them.
Never mind.
Thanks for the insight. How did you get into medicine?
My mum was a dancer on Omega. Dad was a bouncer. I'd patch him up after busy nights. Discovered I had steady hands. They put every credit they earned into my education.
Are they here in Helios?
No. Both died in a turf war. Made leaving the Milky Way behind easier.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
You will fall in love. I have 1 point. From that, wrath, blood rage. Phoebe. Okay. That. Families of my lost expedition asked me to convey their appreciation to you for finding their loved ones. It's always difficult when we lose people. Knowing what happened will help them begin. Your next excursion has a happier end. Ardana. Hello, Ryder. Forgive the intrusion. I have an issue that you and Sam should be able to readily solve and may insist my investigation. Lab. Sure. My brother Dash was my best friend and still's pain means that he's gone. Drag has attached 37 images of look at my little fucking thingy right there. Oh, but it's not a screaming head.
Hello, Ryder. Eos has been a lesson in contrast. Alec Ryder rarely endured doubt. His accomplishments were taken for granted. But you succeeded on Eos, despite doubt and fear. Emotionally, the difference is like catching a ball versus catching a star. You have grown as a result, and so have I.
Thanks, Sam. Nothing more.
Yeah.
We haven't really spoken since orientation, have we?
It's all been so hectic, but I'm sure things will quiet down soon. Can't be worse than the Nexus.
Phoebe, where are you?
You're setting up in here, huh?
Yeah, I'm going through what we got out of that vault. If I can crack this data storage box, it'll help with a personal project back on the Nexus. This is a nice, out-of-the-way place where I can tinker, and I can sleep anywhere. It's not exactly homey, but I like that about it. Not really looking for a home. Oh, but I will help you find everyone a home. While I'm with you, at least.
Does your brain ever take a breath?
sorry, not really. Even my dreams are in time lapse. I get it. You want to know who's on your ship, so you're here to figure out what makes me tick, right?
Something like that? Sure.
Well, I was born in a log cabin on rural Haitiana to simple but loving parents, just trying to... I look forward, not back, Ryder. Why snooze through my life story? Get to know me out in the field while we're uncovering the mysteries of this galaxy. That's why I'm here. Got tired of yawning back home.
Maybe you just needed more sleep.
We were out for 600 years. A special someone made the trip with me, and she woke up a different person. I've slept enough. Ryder, the Milky Way was so... been there, done that. Even if I hadn't done it, someone had. If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I live for the unknown. For the never been done.
Well, congratulate yourself. No one has ever so successfully dodged my attempts to get to know them.
Yes! I'm number one! Buy me a drink sometime. Who knows what will spill out of my mouth. Then again, I need remnant scrap. Remtech, I call it. For projects like the one I mentioned, which you're gonna love, by the by. Promise to bring me what you scrounge, and I'll submit to all your questions.
Remtech, huh? You got it.
You again. Want to hear more about my childhood log cabin?
You really won't tell me what you're working on?
That's right. Next question.
You mentioned you came to Andromeda with someone?
Nothing gets by you. Guess that's why you're the Pathfinder. Just a friend. Now she's not even that. It's better to venture into the unknown without restraints or entanglements, don't you think?
I don't know. Don't friends and loved ones make all the effort worthwhile?
I've always been self-motivated. Don't need much more than curiosity to drive me forward.
You're off the hook, PB. Good luck with your project.
Thanks. Don't be a stranger.
Okay.
Scans of the Scourge. All that dark energy twisting and turning on itself. It's splendid.
I suppose it is a rather darkly beautiful phenomenon.
Darkly beautiful. I like that. Helios is incredible, isn't it? Not just constructs like the Scourge and the Remnant Vaults. Just all of it. So alien. A constant reminder of the divine intelligence behind all creation.
You mean a god?
Yes, I believe in a higher power. I know it's a little odd, but I am a scientist because science brings me closer to something greater than myself.
There's something about coming face to face with something wondrous that makes you want to believe.
Wow. It's wonderful to meet someone who understands. I've had to justify myself so often. As if having faith in the divine invalidated my work as a scientist. As if the sacred could be diminished by the search for truth.
It's good to have different voices on my team. I like that.
Excellent. Oh, speaking of the team, I should update the folks back in the Nexus with the latest reports.
Fucking fly. God
we'll talk
damn
later.
it. Motherfucker.
I saw pictures of the vault. Astounding how big it is. And how much of it didn't you see? What if it's way bigger? What's all that space for?
Wild remnant parties. What else would you use it for?
Well, that's a thought. You don't really think they... Oh, joking. I see. Good one.
I should get back to things.
Sounds good.
Okay. Oh, that's our email terminal. Hello.
Glad you stopped by. You'll pardon me if I keep an eye on our vector?
That's probably smart.
Nothing like being on the bridge of your very own ship, is there?
You mentioned something about helping design the Tempest?
Test pilot, mostly. Plunging through the Nemean abyss was almost a preparation for the Scourge. Of course, it took a whole team to build the Tempest. I was the only one to come to Helios, though.
Why did you?
What can I say? We poured our hearts into a ship that wouldn't realize her potential until Andromeda. I could have stood on the shore and waved goodbye, or took the leap to see how it all turned out.
I get it. Like leaving a good story half-finished.
The team liked that one of us was going. It felt right after all we went through. I remember Serena debugging line 2281 over and over, chewing that green pencil. Tion and O'Connell arguing equations, tapping on the console, 3 drips of coffee on the corner.
You remember all that?
Oh, yes. Solarians have photographic memories, and apparently mine's unusually sharp. Like my past is still happening. Though I suppose with the Solarian arc missing, you might not get many chances to compare.
Did you hear anything about the Ark back on the Nexus?
Not a peep. Isn't that strange? You'd think there'd be something. Not that I dislike your company, but it's lonely without other Solarians.
Cheer up, Callow. We'll always have Director Tan.
That snide little bureaucrat? All the more reason to find the others. I should get back to it, but thank you. I was afraid the Tempest would be mothballed after we lost your father. We built her for this. She deserves to be in a Pathfinder's hands. Please, come by any time.
Okay. Galaxy map. Head out.
Familiar territory.
The Nexus has been here for months. Still not enough time to survey it all.
Pathfinder, is it true? We're settling Eos.
We've thought that before.
But Eos is different now, right? Pathfinder.
All right, settle down. Give him space. Lieutenant Sayak's Kendros' aide. They all wanted to see you. Real hope again. It's been a while.
Relax, Lieutenant. If there was ever a day to pop some champagne.
Certainly. The initiative's finally back on track.
Professor Herrick, right?
What you achieved with that remnant vault is unprecedented, Pathfinder. Impossible. But with new scientific talent waking up, we'll unravel those mysteries. The whole Nexus will benefit.
August Bradley will oversee that. He's the new mayor.
Bradley. I know him. Seems like a good man.
Well, what are you waiting for? There's a new world out there.
Thank you, Ryder.
You're welcome.
I tried. It's like they spawn when I'm not looking.
Don't shove the crate off the... Jessica DePaul, where do they find these people?
How may I assist?
That's all.
It has been my pleasure.
Beatrice up here.
What? That's ridiculous. Why would you say that? Maybe
Keeping tabs on things back here?
Yeah, I try to watch what's going on while we're away, but it's nice to check in person.
Shore leave is for relaxation. Take some time off. Get a massage. Kenturians even get massages?
Sort of. We get vibrations through the carapace with a hammer. Not for me. I'm fine, just people watching.
Okay.
Jessica DePaul.
Hi, Jessica. I'm Garden, the founder of the initiative. Welcome to the Nexus.
Marion VI.
On behalf of
What
the
did?
Nexus, I welcome you to the
Krogan.
Cultural
Sorry.
Please have a look around.
This is an image of the Citadel, considered the seat of government for many civilized races in the Milky
How
Way
many
galaxy.
shops are
Here,
Shepard's
the
favorite?
Council deliberates on matters of state. It is a champion of the
Yeah.
common citizen.
Garrison.
Welcome to the Cultural Exchange Center. Pathfinder, I'm glad you could stop by. Pardon the dust while we set everything up.
Have you heard anything about the Ket?
Unfortunately, yes. Now, that's a species we won't be inviting here anytime soon. I'd hoped our encounters would be peaceful, but I suppose that was too much to ask.
What goes on here?
The Cultural Center is a place where new races we've met can visit and exchange ideas. They can learn more about the Milky Way species, while we foster an air of cooperation and understanding. We're just getting everything ready. Hopefully it won't be long before we have our first visitors.
Thanks.
Of course, our hope is that you'll make friends in the cluster and send them our way. And when you have a second, check back with me on a favor I'd like to ask.
Well, why didn't you fucking... No, get back here. You said you had a favor.
Pathfinder, do you have a moment? We, need to explain you.
Explain me?
Oh no.
Our new feature. If you could fix them, that would really help us out.
Now that was a glitch, all right.
On behalf of the Nexus,
Welcome to the setup for your Pathfinder informational VI.
please have a look around.
I am programmed with all relevant data. However, you must identify which information I should prioritize.
Rich diversity of
First, select your preferred voice and appearance, male or female.
Mail, please.
Variable set. Which aspect of the Pathfinder's role should be highlighted? Exploration and discovery or first contact with new species?
Let's go with exploration and discovery.
Variable set. Next, should I emphasize the role of the Pathfinder team or their partner AI?
Go with the Pathfinder's team.
Variable set. Finally, should I provide career advice for future Pathfinders or an honor of former Pathfinders?
I want you to give career advice.
Setup complete. Would you like to keep these settings?
It all sounds good to me.
Thank you for choosing this Pathfinder information VI. Implementing changes.
Anything else you would like, liaison?
Friendship and cooperation.
Hello again.
Glad you could
Nope.
visit.
Thanks.
Of course.
Sure glad I went to school for this. Thanks for nothing, education.
What's the trouble?
I've got power shortages throughout the station. I can't for the life of me find the cause. Oh, whoa, you're the Pathfinder. Hey, sorry, please ignore me. You've got way more important things to do.
Power to the Nexus is pretty important. I'm happy to help.
That's great, because I'm at a loss. There are obvious short circuits cropping up all over the place. A Pathfinder's eye might reveal something.
There's a power short here. We could scan the area.
An expedition to Eos in the Pythian system discovered a mysterious facility where authorities are calling.
Anything down here? Nope.
This is HNS.
Just when I've balanced the air mix, another Yahoo has to come wandering through.
Whoa!
Aren't you the Pathfinder?
Yeah!
Dr. Camden,
Dickhead?
head of hydroponic sciences. Mind the seedlings.
Are you always this rude to people walking in?
Only when a mistake could kill everyone on the Nexus.
What do you mean?
Hydroponics is our air, food, and water. A frail green line between us and oblivion. We almost lost it all during the mutiny. Now it's my responsibility.
If you welcomed people, you'd have more hands to keep everything running.
Quite astute. If you'll forgive me, perhaps I could begin with you. I need samples of Andromeda's plant life. Our own specimens should acclimatize to them. Bring me any plants you find. You'll have a bounty in return, and my thanks.
Guide.
That's your flag, everyone. That's Prodromos.
Hey, I was wondering if you could help me out. It's for the good of the bar.
Lay it on me.
So, folks try and help and all, but we have a limited pool of ingredients. Keep an eye out for anything interesting we could use for new drinks, and we'll let you test them for free.
Right. I get a feeling the testing will be interesting.
Don't worry, Dutch may complain a lot, but he's loving it. And he's the best chemist I know. You're in good hands.
Things are shaping up, Pathfinder. Resources flowing in, sleepers ready to head out. It's starting to feel like the initiative. Not quite up to the sales pitch, but getting there. Feels good, right?
I feel it, Liam. Finally getting our start.
There we go. Getting our shit together. Showing a new galaxy that we have it sorted. If I keep saying it, it's true, right?
Sure.
Sure. Let me know what materials you need, and I'll find you. That's a relief. Thanks for helping out.
Pathfinder?
Got this, got that. Still missing those.
General Merc.
Welcome, traveler. How may I assist?
Never mind.
That's all.
It has.
We invite you to visit our merchants in the Nexus Commons area.
Scan to assess the nature of the damage.
Rachni engineers mastered underground construction a millennium ago. These remnant fellows probably had the same idea. Wouldn't mind a seismometer.
Dr. Ardana?
Hello, Pathfinder. A moment?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
I have a math problem. Some vital
I'm not
equations
good at
that
math.
only a mind like Sam's could solve. They concern strange transmission patterns in the Scourge. Perhaps random noise, perhaps not.
Sam likes new experiences. It'll be an opportunity to encounter math homework.
Given the complexity and the security implications, I recommend transferring the equations directly into SAM node. I have them on an optical storage disk for you.
I'll see if I have time.
Thank you, Pathfinder. Please thank Sam as well.
Any of the other peeps in here want to talk? Nope. Okay.
Scan to assess the nature of the damage.
Founder of the initiative. On behalf of the Nexus, I welcome you to the Cultural Center. Please have a look around. We hope you'll enjoy learning about the diverse new peoples that have arrived from the Milky Way galaxy.
Hello, Pathfinder.
Oh, there he is.
Here we are, one young Pyjack. Ready to see Andromeda, huh? Sam, can you send a note to Kesh? Make sure our new friend gets delivered to the Tempest.
Acknowledged.
Alright, hold on. I have to pee, so I will be back. Baba Booey. 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 Huh. Eh. Alright.
cherry-like fruit brought back from Habitat 7 has authorities baffled. Multiple passengers are still in quarantine. This is Agent S.
This is Allison. Our first outpost.
An animal did this?
Affirmative. I am able to track it.
We expect the colony to be fully self-supporting soon and able to send us supplies.
How many times have I told you this story?
Pathfinder, I believe you found the culprit responsible for the power shortages.
Alert Professor Hurek to come secure it.
Funny.
Hi, Drake.
Thanks for helping.
Ryder, can you believe this place?
One space station, slightly dented?
You should have seen it a year ago. It was more than just dented. Anyway, thanks for bringing me on. Tan can't kick me off the station now, and it's been nice seeing my granddaughter again.
You really did miss her while you were gone, huh?
I really did. Cash can handle herself just fine, but it's still good to be nearby, just in case.
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates.
Pathfinder. Ryder, isn't it? Kerry Tevessa, freelance vidmaker. This is Hakim, my producer. I could use your help.
What are you looking for?
Director Tanz asked for an uplifting documentary on the initiative. Translation, paint rainbows over our problems. But our problems are history. People deserve the truth, not propaganda.
Nice to see someone so devoted to her work.
That's kind. Sometimes the camera makes people shy away from me.
That's a shame.
So that's what I need. The truth, I mean. Someone needs to record the history we're making.
Maybe a crisis is the time for hope, rather than hard truths.
That was Tan's angle. But if we pretend everything's fine, who does that truly serve? The heart of my documentary will be an interview series. I was hoping you'd take part. I want the dirt and blood of our story, not the convenient fairy tale Tan's looking for. Interested?
You don't mind treading on the initiative director's toes?
What would he do? Pool funding we don't have? I'm game if you are.
Okay, interview away.
Let's start at home. 14 months and the Nexus still isn't finished. Arcs are missing, we have people in exile. By any standard, this wasn't the plan. Our leadership describes these as anticipated issues. Would you agree?
All expeditions have to deal with supplies, enemies, or hell, just getting lost. We'll deal with all of them. We just need time.
Tan will love that. But if that's your take, that's what goes in. Bandwidth means I'm transmitting in short bursts, so that's all for now. But you can bet I'll have more questions later. This was more fun than I expected. You were great. I'll get to work editing. Hi there.
Alright.
Hello again. Hello. Director Tan is expecting you.
Last time I was here, this was a storage closet.
Pathfinder Hall just needed a Pathfinder to open.
We're still getting the commons area ready. Hydroponics is only at partial capacity.
Not good enough.
We don't have enough people. My workers need a break, Tan.
I sympathize, but not until our survival is no longer at risk. Now please excuse me while I meet with our Pathfinder. Hey, Ryder. Addison told me about the outpost. You're the hero of the hour.
I guess this is one bet that paid off.
Point taken. Always revel in your victories.
That's why I'm standing here.
Oh, I never doubted you. It was the others. They don't share our vision, Ryder. Of a prosperous future in Andromeda.
Due respect, Director Tan, but you don't know me.
Oh, I think I do. Your ingenuity speaks for itself, Ryder. Deciphering the vault, alien terraforming. It's not how we imagined all this, but a good Pathfinder improvises. And a great one hangs it on the wall. Yours are the first trophies to grace Pathfinder Hall. You're a symbol now, Ryder. A reason for people to believe.
It wouldn't have been possible without my crew. They're a talented bunch.
But you're their beacon.
Careful, he'll end up adopting you, Ryder.
Ah, my staff.
Colleagues, you wouldn't be looking to cut us out, would you, Tan?
I remind you, I am the director of the initiative.
Acting director.
This isn't the time for arguing over who gets to be king. Too much is at stake. We should be cooperating.
That's what I've been saying since we arrived.
Then I look forward to winning our Pathfinder support.
I have concerns about your decision on EOS, Ryder. An outpost full of scientists won't do as much good if the Kett attack.
But it will help support the Nexus. Improved research could help feed our people.
And we could argue about it all day long, as we always do. The decision was made. Now we move on. What is your plan for moving on, Ryder?
We have a lead on the terraforming network. I need to take the Tempest deeper into the sector to investigate. If the other Golden Worlds are where they should be, this could get us closer to them.
Careful. The Kett are scouring the cluster for remnant technology. You'll end up in a fight, for sure. You might also run into exiles. They didn't leave the Nexus on good terms.
And we still need more outposts. They're important to expanding the station.
Though with Ark still missing, this could be a chance for Ryder to search for them. Yes, I think that's best. You have my permission.
Thank you, Director. I'll get on it.
May you light the torch that finds the path. Pathfinder... Ugh.
Right.
Ryder, this is Harry, back on the Ark.
Go ahead.
We may have found a way to talk to your sister, sort of. Drop by when you can. Hyperion Medbay.
Will do.
Pathfinder, we are to contact Director Addison as soon as possible.
Right. Something about Andromeda viability and perks could be useful.
Oh, okay, so this is the SR2.
Whole mood of the Nexus has changed since EOS. You really can feel it. New outpost, a Pathfinder's help, people waking up. It's a fresh start.
Third time's a charm, if you happen to have a Pathfinder around.
Can't always rely on luck. From here, it's hard work. But it's damn good to know we're on the right track.
Any logistics updates are due within the hour.
Get out of the way, Cora. Fuck's sake. Fuck you. Okay.
You've had a year to think about it. Ryder, you're off to a promising start. I meant what I said. You are a symbol now of hope that things will get better. Though I worry about this terraforming network. What do we really know about it?
It's like nothing we've ever seen. It's clear somebody had big plans for this cluster.
But who?
Not sure yet, but at least we're on the trail.
Did you have some other business?
That's all. Thanks for your time.
I'm here to serve.
Okay.
Must be great to see all your hard work on display.
Any logistics updates are due within the hour.
Rocks.
Construction and repairs continue on various fronts.
Please address concerns first with Director Addison. One must obey protocol.
Do it. God damn it. You've shaken things up, Pathfinder. My department actually has colonial affairs to direct. And you have new tools to help grow the initiative. AVP, ready for spending.
Sam said there was new functionality to discuss.
It's how the initiative was designed to support the Pathfinder. You and your team are out there making Andromeda viable. That empowers all of us. Hit a threshold. A new cryo group can be brought out. Want more focus on research, like on Prodromos? That's your call. Brecker will introduce the interface and handle minutiae. All you need to do is decide what life in Andromeda means. No pressure.
Hello, Pathfinder. I am Cryo Deployment
Hello,
Administrator
Russian.
Vladimir Breca, C-63 Galati. Your first task is to decide irrevocably the course of every life in the initiative.
Whoa, that
The way you
seems
put
like
that, okay.
too much.
Yes, of course. But now you respect what we're doing. Andromeda viability and Nexus thresholds are your tools, your reward, and our future. How can I help?
So I decide what groups to wake up. Won't everyone be out eventually?
Absolutely. But there's an order to things, a lines of support. You can't deploy an omelet without first deploying eggs, and eggs won't get you steak. Except it's people, and how all our lives begin.
How are you measuring thresholds?
It's based on resource estimates and general stability, a metric of acceptable scope and risk. The more you achieve, the greater capacity we can accommodate, the more the initiative can do for you. Simplest explanation, the more you do, the more room we have to grow.
What's the rundown on AVP?
Much of the preparation in the Milky Way was determining how to measure success. Thresholds are about capacity, but this is about cost, what we can actually afford to support. Points aren't the most elegant system, but it makes it clear. The more you earn, the more we can deploy.
All right, Breca. Where do I start?
The interface is active and will respond only to a Pathfinder. It's ready for your first selection. You may begin shaping the initiative at your leisure.
Okay. Okay, so one cryopod point. Well, I hit. Earn research point. Ooh, get mineral.
Personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates.
Yes, Pathfinder?
I have info on a specific sleeper I'd like brought out of cryo.
I want to avoid that entirely. For reasons.
Reasons? That's it?
Look, you're the Pathfinder. If you've a request for your extended team, that's a request you can make. Access the sleeper records through Brecker's console. It's none of my business. Until you make it a problem for me. Understood?
Yeah.
Pathfinder, AVP leveling continues as per your directions. And of course, the interface remains accessible for any future adjustments. Sweet protocol and process. Now we're living.
I have a specific person I want brought out of cryo.
Name and designation if available.
That's it? You'll just do it?
Nowhere in my job description does it say, argue with the Pathfinder. That said, I record all interactions. If something you ask for causes trouble, there'll be no doubt that you're responsible.
Okay.
I heard that the chief engineer on EOS went back into cryo.
There have been a few such requests. The first few months in Helios were disheartening.
Now that Prodromos is on track, I want her redeployed.
Chief Engineer Grace Lito, designation E97 Durango. Deployment will begin shortly. Is there anything else, Pathfinder?
I have a specific person I want brought out of cryo.
Name and designation if available.
Let's keep this between us. Here's the info.
Deployment will begin shortly. Is there anything else, Pathfinder?
Why do some colonists have a number letter designation?
All initiative members do. In the CV file somewhere anyway. It isn't relevant when everyone is doing everything. I suppose it's like caring about a middle name. Do you not know yours?
I wasn't aware I had one.
You were in select company even before you were made Pathfinder. Rider Pathfinder. Specialist designation A04 Malapa.
Something interesting?
An A and low odds. Someone's an early adopter.
Don't know what the
Another
fuck that
time.
means.
Pathfinder.
Any logistics updates are due within the hour.
Hey, there's puke on the floor.
I hear you went down to EOS. Did you find anything to help my case?
An enemy blast to the back killed the chief. Your shot missed.
What? You're kidding me. Thank the spirits. This is great.
Hold on there. The chief's Omni-tool recorded you over the body. Sam, playback.
Sorry, old friend. Had to do it. I'm not dying on this rock. Shit.
Not only did you think you killed him, you meant to.
But you just said I didn't, so it doesn't matter, right? The conviction will have to be overturned. The sentence thrown out.
Director Tan will determine what's to be done. You did try to cover it all up.
Look, I'm sorry I lied, but if my shot missed, I'm innocent. Plain and simple.
We'll see about that.
Ooh. I mean, he's right, but intent. You can still get in trouble.
Guess this is your place now.
Intent to kill.
Seeing more and more skirmishes with the cat.
Something I can help you with?
Director, I checked out that murder. Nilken didn't do it, but there's proof that he meant to.
This is unfortunate. We're trying to give the people a sense of stability, leadership they think they can count on. And we're setting precedent for justice here in Andromeda. Now this, a convicted murderer who didn't commit the murder.
These things are almost never black and white.
I know. If we suppress the evidence and uphold the conviction, we're banishing a man for a crime he technically didn't commit. If we throw the conviction out, we're freeing a man who tried to take matters into his own hands, then covered it up. Your investigation complicated this. You should take responsibility for the outcome. Do we still exile him for murder?
It was crazy down there, life and death. But his shot didn't kill Reynolds. We have to let him go.
You're a bottom line type of person. I hope we don't regret it.
Me neither.
All right, so be it. He will do community service for his role in the chaos. But he's a free man. Well, at least we'll have the sordid business behind us.
He's a runner. He's a track star. You're fucking welcome.
Believe it. You're free.
Yeah, I did that.
Pathfinder, we have you to thank.
Yes.
Hey, Toga.
I'm glad you did
Doing
the right
good. How are
thing,
you?
Ryder.
You'd better live a clean life, Nilken. Or else.
What? What does he mean by that, love?
I'll tell you later. Let's just get home.
Yeah, you bitch. Where's... Oh, I have points to spend. Cool. Spend it on radius. Yo, it's been raining all day for me. Well, all week for me. Actually, the sun's out right now. 2 points. Defensive training. Petra. Power armor. Ra. Alright. Hello again, Yada. 4. Liam. Training. So, habitation deck, cryo. Go to the cryo bay. I think we were wanted there.
A ray of hope for sleep-starved
Checking in
residents.
our sister.
Maintenance begins on malfunctioning sun lamps, causing unending daylight in some Nexus quarters. This is HNS.
Currently 4 a.m. Probably get some sleep.
Once we gather a few more colonists, we'll be taking you over to the Nexus. You'll need to clear immigration.
This is not good.
What's not good?
Exiles. Oi, Pathfinder.
Oi,
Today
medic.
has not been a good day.
Why is that?
A large shipment of medical supplies intended for Prodromus was intercepted by those damned exiles. Scouts confirmed they've divvied the supplies up among their own outposts.
I'll see what I can do about reclaiming them.
That would be great. Thanks. Maybe when you come across them assholes, you can rectify all this.
Well, let's not get aggressive now, okay? Dr. Carlisle, what's up? Is that my
Harry,
sister?
what's happening with Sarah?
Well, we got her out of the pod. I don't want to get your hopes up, but Sam managed to, find her, you might say.
I don't follow.
Well, she's still in a coma. But she also has an implant like yours, and Sam managed
No
to
sleep.
access it.
Sleep is for the weak.
He's made contact.
I don't know if I'm gonna play Hoi. I might actually do some Hoi 4 when the new DLC comes out, whenever the fuck that is. But yeah, aside from that, I don't think that game's all that fun to stream. Cause like I like to listen to copyrighted music when I play it. I can't do that while on stream, so.
That's incredible. She's okay.
That's why I don't really play
Vitals are
Paradox
steady,
games on stream.
but
I used
I'm
to.
letting Sam take the
like,
lead on this
over
one.
a year
Though
ago
in a
when I
coma,
first started streaming.
Sarah's mental processes remain intact.
So, is she okay?
You can ask her yourself. A moment while I establish a link with her implant. Proceed.
Sarah? Can you hear me?
Is that you, little brother? What's happening?
You're like in a
Where am
coma.
There was a problem with your stasis pod. You're in a coma on the Hyperion. Do you understand?
I think so. Am I dreaming?
Sam linked into your implant, but they say you're stable. You're safe and sound in the medbay.
This is so weird. I hear you, but I can't feel anything. Where's Dad? Is he doing okay?
He's away on a mission right now. I know he's worried about you, though.
Yeah, I know Dad.
Let's not
She'll
get her worried
Go
while
study
she's
some new form of alchemy.
sleeping.
It wasn't like that.
Might lower her chances of
cares.
waking up from the coma.
How many times has he yelled at you so far?
Oh, the usual.
Well, when he gets back, tell him he needs to stop picking on my little brother. What's home like? Is Habitat 7 as beautiful as they promised?
There's been some complications. The Golden Worlds didn't exactly deliver.
Damn. Well, we knew it could get rough. Dad will find us a place to live.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
And I should be there helping you guys do it.
Well, you were never one to quit, Sarah. A little nap won't hold you back.
Hell no, it won't. As soon as I'm up, I'm helping you and Dad find
I think you might be the only person that
got it.
enjoys Hearts of Iron 3.
And then...
So I've not met
What
anyone
happened?
else that
The
has
connection was
enjoyed
only
that
temporary.
fucking game.
Her condition remains stable.
Sorry, it seemed better than nothing. I'll keep you posted, promise.
Thanks, Harry.
I saw a T-pose for a brief second. I saw it. Okay. That's I think the habitation deck.
Fallout from the recent uprising as security tightens across all sectors of the Nexus. Director Tan stresses that it's, quote, for your safety. This
Alright. Is there anything here? Yep.
is Agent S.
I looked at that game and it just looks... I don't mind complex as long as the complexity is easily accessible and easy to learn. That's not... Point 3 has neither of that.
Pathfinder, I have a word or two for you.
Oh, you wanting
there
to
a problem?
fight, punk?
Your father is my problem. He's everyone's problem.
He's dead.
We're all paying for Alec Ryder's ego. He preyed on Jean Garson's trusting nature and bulldozed us to this godforsaken place.
I'm gonna punch you
Now
in the
she's
face,
dead,
bitch.
and we'll all soon follow.
Hey, my dad died for this dream. He was trying to fix things for all of us.
Some dream. He fixed us all right. Go to hell, Pathfinder.
Fuck you. Any... Run the equation. Cool.
Welcome back, Ryder.
Dr. Aradana at the tech lab sent some equations for you to solve.
I'm ready.
Transferring them now. Have fun. Hey.
Uh-oh.
What the? Sam.
Malicious code detected. Please stand by.
Sam?
Attempting to countermand malicious code. Please stand by.
Is there anything I can do? Sam. Is that another malfunction, or... Sam, you trying to show me something? Okay, I think I got it. Sam, talk to me.
Hello, Pathfinder. Please initialize the console to restore normal operations.
Sam, what happened?
The equations contained a Trojan horse program, a virus, specifically targeted to sever our connection and render me helpless. Reconnecting would be impossible.
How do you feel? Are you okay?
I cannot feel pain. However, I would avoid repeating the experience, which is the purpose of pain in organic life.
Unlock the door. Let's head to the tech lab and see what Dr. Aradana has to say.
Yeah, what the fuck, Aradana? Trying to hurt me? Am I a robot? Or am I AI? 'Cause I guess he's not technically a robot. I don't think he's a robot. He could be a robot. I don't know.
Residents are still mourning the loss of Chief Garson. The initiative founder was killed when
I think I've had
an official tribute is planned, though Director
one
Jared
virus
has
on my
provided
computer.
a few details so far.
Without Jean, we wouldn't
Can't
be
remember
here.
what
But
it
now that we are here,
did.
we need to focus on
Oh, it
surviving
just
before we can celebrate.
it changed my fucking
Agent S.
browser. Changed what I was using as my browser. So it wasn't like a malware dangerous kind of one. It was just an annoying virus.
We can start building a bank of vaccines once we get more
Yo, Aradana, what the fuck happened, bro? Why'd you mess with my robot?
Welcome, Pathfinder. Did Sam solve the equations I sent?
Solve them? They almost brought down Sam Node.
The equations contained a virus designed to target artificial intelligence.
You think Never. I abhor violence against any life, organic or synthetic.
Then how did the virus find its way into your equations?
Perhaps my files were altered or replaced. But why?
I've seen a lot of down with AI sentiment lately. Graffiti, complaints to 10. Perhaps someone took the next step.
Why would anyone hate artificial intelligence?
Synthetic life has different needs and motivations. It can be mysterious and powerful. Many fear what is not understood.
If graffiti is the best they can do, maybe they could use some artificial intelligence.
Entire species were driven into exile by AI they created, champ. That leaves a mark.
Attacking Sam is bold, though. I wonder if there have been similar incidents.
The AI kiosk was busted this morning.
I can look around.
Alright, it is that time. The day, time to end the stream. Let's see. What percentage are we at? Oh. Let's see here. Oh, we made 6% progress. Yeah, right. Thank you guys for showing up. How long it takes. I'm not gonna raid anyone. Only 2 of us. So, point in doing it. This cut down takes a while. All right. I will be live tomorrow. Hopefully, I think we should be finished